How are you feeling?
Shattered. Yeah, honestly, the schedule's been ridiculous. And when you're playing a team like Chelsea, who've got that many good players, you know, they're constantly making you think, making you work. And, you know, credit to them, you know, it could have gone either way tonight. Could have gone either way in the first leg. But I think everything we've been building towards over the last few years has come together this season. So into our first final in a very long time, so we need to enjoy the moment.
Gyokeres, it's Troy. I just wanted to say, mate, you've just alluded to it there. You're getting to this point now where, over years, that horrible question, and probably fairly so, has been, can you get over the line? It feels different this year. You've just said it, you're looking to enjoy it. How do you now manage a game like today where it's not about winning, it's just making sure you don't lose the game? How have you dealt with that differently this year as opposed to years gone by?
Yeah, look, we're going into the game today. We knew we had the league, the lead in the tie, and we didn't want to put any pressure on ourselves. You know, my bad. We said to the boys, we all said it to each other before the game. We said we're one game away from Wembley. Like, how much do you want it? You know, we haven't been there for many years, and today wasn't just about, you know, playing nice football. Sometimes it comes down to, in semi-finals, you know, your heart desire and how much you want to win a game of football. And in the end, I think we got through the game. We won 1-0, and you know, I don't think Chelsea created much, even though they played well. But in the end, over the two ties, I think we deserved it. And yeah, onto a final now, which we have to enjoy, you know.
Declan, it's Nigel. Love to see your development, young man, since we've been sharing the dressing room together, geezer, for a little while. You still remember that nutmeg? You still remember that nutmeg in training?
I remember you in the boxes popping it. I remember that.
Oh, you remember that?
Declan, we didn't need you to say that, mate. We know he's a ball carrier, don't worry.
Hey, listen, he was ball carrying when I was training with him. But anyway, Dec, listen, I know you're a humble lad, really humble and great kid. It was a pleasure training with you. Now, I think for me, you're definitely worthy of being in the conversation for being one of the best midfielders in world football right now. How do you feel about that when people speak to you of that highly? And don't give me the humble, nice Declan answer. Give me the real Declan in the dressing room answer.
Obviously, it's the conversations you want to be in, you know. I think we're playing in a time now where there's so many good midfielders out there. You know, you watch football every week, I watch football. Every top team has top midfielders. So to be in that conversation's unreal. And, you know, it's all about hard work and, you know, putting myself, you know, it's down to the training, listening to my coaches, wanting to improve, taking on criticism, being fit, being consistent. So many things fall into it. And, yeah, I'm very lucky that I can play in this team and prove myself every week. So they're the right conversations to be in, but also if you want to go to the next level, it's now about going to this final and winning, and hopefully I can get a few trophies to my name as well with this team.
Hey, Declan, you know, when we talk about especially Chelsea, Arsenal, we're talking about the maturity level in between the two teams. And obviously you guys have a maturity level that's much more developed, and that's why you guys look like you're going to win things and look like you're organized. Can you speak to that, what that's like in the changing room, what that's like in the training ground, what's that like in big moments like tonight?
Yeah, I think it's because from the training ground to the way we play with the staff, I think, first of all, our manager, he has total control of everything. That from bottom to top of the football club, you know, he controls everything. Everyone listens to him. You can't step out of line. We all believe in his work. Gabby Hines has come in this year. Defensive coach has been unbelievable. Everyone's so well drilled. I think this team, this year, we've come up against a lot of teams who have created low blocks against us, and it's been really tough to break down, but we're finding different ways to win football matches, and that's all that matters. You know, if we can keep winning and keep producing results, I think that's the main thing. But on top of that, we have a great defence who keep clean sheets, so it goes hand in hand.
Oh, Declan, it's so exciting to think about the outlook for this season. Champions League, obviously still in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup and the Premier League, and then the World Cup this summer that's in America. Just before we let you go, Nigel speaks so highly about you. Any stories for Nigel for us that you can share from your days with him?
My days, little pat.
I can just about remember what I was doing 2 weeks ago. Honestly, this football, it's too much.
That was enough, Declan.
Honestly, now I promise you this. I just no. I do remember him coming in. He was fit as anything, and I was a young boy then, and he come in, and to be fair, it was still like he was playing in the Premier League. I'm not just saying that. His mentality and desire to train and want to be the best, and he was still clamping lads in training. Don't get me wrong. We was only 16 at the time, but he was taking us out.
I did say that this kid was going to be a star from when I first came there. I took notice of him straight away, and what he's gone on to achieve is sensational. Keep it up, Deck.
Well done, mate. Wish you all the best, bud.
Great to speak to you all, you guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Clinton, let's have a look at it from a Chelsea perspective. Liam Rosenior, 6 wins and 7 coming into this. Will he have some regrets, do you think, after tonight?
Yeah, maybe his only regret is obviously not getting through to the final, and obviously, yeah, he could say the regrets of maybe bringing Cole Palmer and Esteval on at half-time, or maybe even starting them. Maybe I don't understand. I don't know with the minutes they can play. Esteval missed a game on the weekend. Cole Palmer played the whole 90 minutes, so you don't know how much he can use them. Because
are you suggesting he was listening to his medical team?
Well, well, sometimes you have to. Enzo Maresca said before you have to listen to the medical team. So yeah, you don't want to risk injury of players. But I think in a big game like this is where maybe Cole Palmer needed to start, because when he came on, he had a difference. He getting into pockets. We know about his ability, and I've always liked Esteval. I think that kid's going to be a superstar. So that might be the only regret, that maybe he started them 2 players. But you know, if they weren't right and the medical team, I'm not saying this is the case, but this is my opinion. If they weren't right and the medical team have told that, then he's got his hands tied behind his back. But they did make a difference. But as much as you could say Chelsea will be disappointed, Arsenal were outstanding in their defensive duty. Even though they didn't have a lot to deal with in the first half, in the last 20, 25 minutes, Chelsea did throw a lot at them.
7 wins, 3 draws, no losses in the last 10 matches against Chelsea in all competitions. They've scored 22, they've only conceded the 9. We talked about things kind of changing for Arsenal this month, in particular conceding more goals than we used to, but also scoring more goals. It just felt like a huge sigh of relief for them, didn't it, when Kai Havertz scored?
Yeah, again, I didn't really feel that they were under that much pressure. It was just more of a tactical battle. We're going to stop you, you're going to stop us. No one was really good with any quality going forward. And then, again, talk to Chelsea's negativity in terms of buying young, trying to develop these players. Look what Arsenal have on the bench, ready-made, quality players that they can come in and impact the game. And when you've got young players like Chelsea, I don't use it as an excuse because they keep buying young, but you bring on the likes of Esteval and Garnacho, and you're hoping they can perform well. When you bring on a Havertz, when you bring on a Jesus, you know what they're going to give you. And that, for me, is why Arsenal won the game.
Brilliant point. Brilliant. He's so right. I mean, experience is priceless when it comes to football. You know, when you're young, you start playing football, the good senior players will help you out. They'll teach you how to understand how to win football matches. And you get the experience on, I've been in this situation before. Right? We're chasing a game. It's a big game. What do we got to do? We got quick wingers. All right, let them go out wide and start taking players on, get in the box. You start shouting at your strikers, be in the box, and then a midfielder following up. There's a simple format behind that and understanding it. But when you're also young and you're still learning the game, who do you turn to in those moments?
Yeah,
like, the manager can do so much.
Is the devil's advocate to that Chelsea have won 2 trophies in the last year? They won the Club World Cup. They won, obviously, in the Europa Conference League. So it's not like they've had these young players that can't handle these moments where it's...
You're talking about the Europa Conference League.
The Europa Conference League, in all fairness. And I'm with you.
What about PSG, though?
Yeah, again, at the end of a real tough year, and they had they win that. I don't think anyone takes the Club World Cup away from them. But when we talk about the Europa Conference League with a Chelsea team that spent nearly £2 billion, you should be winning that.
With all due respect, I didn't know that the Club World Cup. I didn't know what it was until the final, when I started to do a little. It was
good job it wasn't in Jersey, right?
the tournament that was just made up, right?
So it's not made up. Speak going on, but okay.
Some big clubs, obviously, and at the end, I thought the clubs took it seriously, but a lot of clubs took it as a preseason, like a preseason rest period in the beginning stages until it got to the quarterfinal, semifinal. They didn't really start to really push. And I don't want to take anything away from anyone, but again, those are the 2 trophies that they won. So, but these are like the big trophies now: Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup. I mean, one of the Fofana was crying at the end of the match. So when people say, "Oh, Carabao Cup's no big deal," no, these guys want to win, and this is an important trophy.
The way that Carabao Cup has been viewed has actually changed a lot now. When you talk about clubs and progression, and we say about winning, yes, there was a period where the big clubs, the big 6, would put out the youngsters and didn't really take it seriously. But now it goes to the bigger picture of world football. You talk about marketing and branding. You want to be a winner. You want to be a winner. You want to win everything. And for me, these Chelsea boys definitely will be hurt at not making the final today. Like, this game doesn't necessarily give us the winner, but it's the fact of getting into the final. And I think Arsenal, for me, showed what they've got, the experience and the squad.
Well,
in many ways, that was a perfect night for Arsenal. Look, the fans are right on top of us here, and we talk pre-match about nerves and stuff. It didn't feel nervous, did it? It felt quite calm.
Yeah.
The fans felt quite calm, and then they could explode into joy on 90 plus 7 minutes.
Yeah, I think if you were to analyse the performance of a lot of the players, I think you could sense they felt a little bit nervous. I saw Declan Rice give the ball out a few more times than he would normally. Zubimendi in midfield. We never really saw Eze on the ball enough. I mean, Gyokeres hardly touched the ball, but they didn't have to do a lot because they were comfortable. They had a great shape, and that's what Arsenal do. They're probably the best in, fair enough to say, the best in the world at it. They're so hard to beat, especially here. And the last 2 games they've had, considering they was very edgy against Manchester United, against Liverpool, I thought they handled it pretty well. Certainly defensively, they handled set pieces, but they never got that bombardment that we expected. We thought at some point it was going to come on top, and that was going to be the master plan for Chelsea, but it just never transpired.
I mean,
they played in second gear. Second gear. This is a semi-final of the Cup. You just go out in a blaze. I keep on saying this is not like a League One or League Two team coming to the Emirates to keep the score down. They've got the players to mix it with Arsenal, in my opinion. In my opinion, they got the players to go, and they didn't have a go. And there's ways of losing. If they'd have lost this game 3-0, and they had shot after shot, and Kepa was brilliant in goal, and they sort of broke like that 3 times on him, you go, yeah, that's the way it is. You see Fofana there, he played well, but he's crying. He's probably crying because he knows
an opportunity
missed. No, of course you will. As a player, you'll be in that dressing room after and think, didn't give it a go. I played in games like that, and you come off, you think, we just got beaten, and we, not even really had a go.
Arsenal are heading to the EFL Cup final, and they earned it the hard way with a statement win over Chelsea. This wasn't just about edging past a rival, it was about authority. From the opening minutes, Arsenal looked switched on, aggressive, and hungry, setting the tone with relentless pressing and quick ball circulation. Chelsea never really settled, and that early discomfort shaped the entire night. What stood out most was Arsenal's control in key moments. Whenever Chelsea tried to grow into the game, Arsenal shut the door immediately. The midfield dictated play, snapping into challenges and recycling possession with purpose. The goals came as a reward for sustained pressure rather than luck, and once Arsenal got their noses in front, you could sense belief surge through the stadium and the players alike. At the back, Arsenal showed maturity. Instead of panicking or dropping too deep, they stayed compact and disciplined, forcing Chelsea into low-percentage chances. Every clearance, every interception felt intentional. It was the kind of defensive performance that doesn't always grab headlines but wins you knockout ties, especially against dangerous opposition. This one feels significant. Not just because it sends Arsenal to a final, but because it shows how far this team has come mentally. Big night, big opponent, high stakes, and they delivered. If this is the level they're setting in cup competitions, Arsenal fans have every reason to believe that silverware is genuinely within reach.